Sleep in this position to protect your heart and avoid strokes and thrombosis. For decades, doctors have told us that getting 8 hours of sleep is the ultimate key to health. They say that if you simply close your eyes for long enough, your body will do the rest. But what if the hours you spend in bed are secretly putting your heart under immense silent pressure? What if the real danger isn't how long you sleep, but the exact position your body is resting in when the clock strikes midnight? Medical science now reveals a startling truth about our cardiovascular system. The physical posture of your body during sleep directly alters your hemodynamics. It physically changes the way blood is pumped from your heart, shifts your resting blood pressure, and drastically impacts the delicate vessels in your legs and your brain. When you lie down incorrectly, you can inadvertently crimp the major vessels that return blood to the heart, creating a dangerous pooling effect that leads to deep vein thrombosis and increases the risk of nighttime strokes. Many of us know the feeling of waking up in the morning, not with vibrant energy, but with a heavy, lingering fatigue. You might feel a strange, tight stiffness in your chest, or a dull, throbbing ache deep inside your legs that makes those first few steps out of bed so incredibly difficult. You might find yourself tossing and turning in the dark, trying to find just one comfortable spot to relieve your aching joints and your weary spine, only to wake up feeling like a heavy cloud of brain fog has settled over your mind. Please know that you are not alone in this. And this exhaustion is not simply the inevitable cost of growing older. It is a sign. It is your body whispering to you in the night. When the sun goes down and your home becomes quiet, your beautiful, resilient heart is still working tirelessly. It is trying to pump warm, life-giving blood throughout your entire body, fighting to wash the daily rust from your arteries, fighting to keep you safe from invisible nighttime threats. But if you are resting in the wrong position, you are forcing your heart to work against the heavy pull of gravity. You are placing a heavy, invisible weight on your most vital organ, turning your bed, which should be a peaceful sanctuary, into a place of silent struggle. Tonight, we are going to change that. We are going to explore a simple, profound adjustment, a way to lay your head down that honors the natural mechanics of your body, a gentle posture that will finally let your heart truly rest. Thousands of years ago, ancient healers viewed the human body not as a collection of parts, but as a beautiful, interconnected landscape. They believed that our vitality flowed through us like a winding, majestic river, and that true healing could only happen when this river was allowed to run completely free without a single obstruction. Modern cardiovascular science has proven this ancient intuition to be remarkably accurate. When you are awake and moving, gravity pulls your blood downward. Your heart, acting as a powerful pump, must contract with significant force to push that blood all the way from your toes back up to your chest. But the moment you lie down to sleep, the entire mechanical reality of your circulation changes. The gravitational resistance is suddenly removed, your blood pressure naturally drops, and your heart rate slows down to prepare for deep restoration. While this slow, rhythmic beating is necessary for cellular repair, it also introduces a hidden vulnerability. Because your heart is pumping less vigorously, the velocity of your blood flow decreases. If you lay your body in a position that twists or compresses your internal plumbing, this slower-moving blood can begin to pool in the deep veins of your legs, your hips, or your pelvis. Medical professionals call this dangerous pooling venous stasis. When blood stagnates, the microscopic cells within it, called platelets, can begin to stick to the walls of your vessels. They gather together, binding with proteins to form a thick clot or a thrombosis. If one of these silent clots breaks free in the quiet hours of the morning, it can travel straight toward your lungs or your fragile brain tissue. This is the precise mechanical reason why a staggering number of cardiovascular events and strokes occur between the hours of midnight and 6 in the morning. Perhaps you have felt the warning signs of this stagnation. A restless, crawling sensation in your legs that makes it impossible to settle. A deep, heavy throbbing in your calves that lingers even after a warm bath. Or a sudden, sharp cramp that jolts you out of a peaceful dream. This is not simply a muscle spasm. It is a desperate plea from your circulatory system for a clear, unobstructed path. It can feel overwhelming. The thought that your own bed might be putting your fragile vessels at risk. You might feel a gentle wave of anxiety when you turn out the lights, wondering if your heart is truly safe. But please take a deep, slow breath. You do not need to be afraid of the night. By making one simple physical adjustment to your posture, you can act as the architect of your own healing, ensuring your internal rivers flow smoothly, safely, and peacefully until the morning light. Let us look closely at the positions many of us have relied upon for decades. Perhaps you have always been told that sleeping flat on your back is the absolute best posture for a healthy spine. Ancient Eastern traditions often reserve this flat, upward-facing posture only for brief moments of waking meditation, warning against using it for the long, vulnerable hours of the night. Modern cardiovascular medicine now echoes this profound wisdom. When you lie completely flat on your back, gravity pulls the heavy tissues of your throat, the base of your tongue, and your soft palate directly downward. This causes your delicate airway to narrow and in many aging bodies partially collapse. As you try to breathe, the oxygen flow to your lungs is severely restricted. When your brain detects this sudden dangerous drop in oxygen, it panics. Your sympathetic nervous system triggers an immediate survival response, flooding your bloodstream with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Your blood pressure sharply spikes, and your heart is forced to beat rapidly and erratically to compensate for the suffocating environment. If you have ever woken up suddenly in the dark, gasping for a gentle breath of air, feeling your heart pounding in your chest like a frightened trapped bird, you know exactly how terrifying this invisible struggle can be. You might wake up with a desperately dry mouth, or a lingering heavy ache that throbs behind your eyes. An exhausting reminder that your heart was fighting a fierce battle while you were simply trying to rest. But what if you turn away from your back? Many people naturally gravitate to sleeping on their right side, seeking a bit of comfort for a weary shoulder or a tender arthritic hip. However, the precise anatomy of your internal plumbing makes this right-sided posture incredibly taxing for your heart. The inferior vena cava is the largest vein in your body, responsible for carrying all the used deoxygenated blood from your legs and lower body back up to your heart. This massive vital pipeline is located strictly on the right side of your spine. When you sleep on your right side, the entire weight of your internal organs presses down heavily against this critical vessel. This physical compression physically narrows the inferior vena cava, making it incredibly difficult for blood to return upward. To compensate for this restricted flow, your heart must pump with much greater force, artificially elevating your blood pressure and raising your risk of vascular strain throughout the long night. It breaks my heart to know how many nights you may have spent shifting in your sheets, trying to escape the aching in your lower back, unknowingly placing this heavy burden on your cardiovascular system. Trying so hard to find peace, only to wake up feeling so deeply depleted. But please do not lose hope. There is a sanctuary. There is a specific golden posture that aligns perfectly with the sacred architecture of your body, a posture that we will explore right now. For thousands of years, the ancient healers of India practiced a deep, sophisticated system of medicine known as Ayurveda. They carefully observed the rhythms of the human body and declared that resting on the left side was the ultimate sanctuary for physical restoration. They believed this specific posture encouraged the natural, unhindered flow of life force, settling the spirit and protecting the body's internal harmony. Today, modern cardiologists and vascular specialists look at the exact same posture through the lens of modern imaging and hemodynamic monitors, and their conclusions perfectly mirror this beautiful ancient wisdom. The secret lies entirely within the exquisite asymmetrical architecture of your own chest. Your heart is not perfectly centered, it sits slightly to the left. More importantly, the largest and most powerful artery in your body, the aorta, curves upward from the heart and then naturally arches down into the left side of your abdomen. When you sleep on your left side, you are physically aligning your body with this natural cardiovascular pathway. Gravity gently assists your heart, pulling the freshly oxygenated blood effortlessly down through the aortic arch and distributing it to your vital organs and your weary limbs. Instead of pushing uphill against gravity, your heart is finally allowed to coast. Furthermore, remember that massive vein we discussed, the inferior vena cava, which sits entirely on the right side of your spine. By resting on your left side, you completely remove the heavy, crushing weight of your stomach, your liver, and your intestines from this critical pipeline. The deoxygenated blood that often pools in your aching legs and swollen ankles now has a wide-open highway to travel straight back up to your lungs. This unimpeded venous return dramatically reduces the risk of dangerous cellular stagnation, drastically lowering the chance of deep vein thrombosis and silent nighttime strokes. Imagine what that feels like, to finally give your beautiful, hard-working heart a peaceful night off, to feel the heavy restrictive pressure lifting from your tired chest, knowing that your sacred arteries are clear, open, and quietly healing while you dream. But the miracles of the left side sanctuary do not stop with your blood. You also possess a quiet secondary circulatory network called the lymphatic system. This delicate network is responsible for flushing out metabolic waste cellular debris and the microscopic toxins that cause chronic inflammation. The vast majority of your body's lymphatic fluid drains into a single major vessel called the thoracic duct, which is located exclusively on the left side of your body. When you sleep on your left side, you are actively encouraging your body to wash away the toxic rust from your tissues. The heavy, cloudy brain fog that often ruins your mornings is gently filtered away. Your stiff, aching joints are bathed in fresh cleansing fluids, reducing the sharp morning inflammation that makes those first few steps out of bed so agonizing. I know that changing a lifelong sleep habit can feel incredibly daunting, especially if you have a tender shoulder or a sensitive hip that protests when you roll over in the dark. Please be incredibly gentle with your body. You do not have to force this change all at once. Try placing a thick, firm pillow between your knees to perfectly align your hips and take the strain off your lower back. And perhaps tuck a soft, comforting pillow right behind your spine so you cannot accidentally roll backward. Create a soft, supportive nest that allows you to embrace this golden, life-saving posture with complete and total ease, to truly protect your heart. Shifting your physical posture is a beautiful first step, but we must also prepare the very river of life flowing inside you. If you go to bed with a racing mind and tense muscles, your blood vessels remain constricted, making your heart pump furiously against narrow, tightened walls. Many of us know the feeling of the evening anxiety, sitting in the quiet of your living room as the house grows dark, feeling the coldness creeping into your hands and your feet as your circulation slows, worrying about the long night ahead. This is why the ancients never simply collapsed into bed. They practiced a deliberate sacred transition, a gentle ritual to coax the body into a state of profound vascular peace. Tonight, I invite you to embrace a simple, comforting practice before you lie down on your left side. About an hour before you sleep, prepare a warm, ruby-red infusion of dried hibiscus flowers steeped with a single thin slice of fresh ginger. For centuries, the ancient healers of the Mediterranean and North Africa revered the deep red hibiscus as a soothing tonic for a weary spirit and an overworked heart. They believed its vibrant color carried the cooling, calming energy of the earth itself. Today, modern cardiology validates this beautiful tradition with remarkable precision. Hibiscus flowers are packed with powerful antioxidants known as anthocyanins. When you sip this warm tea, these compounds act as natural ACE inhibitors. They chemically block the enzymes that cause your blood vessels to constrict, commanding your arteries to physically dilate and relax. Furthermore, the active compound in ginger, called gingerol, acts as a gentle, natural blood thinner. It prevents the microscopic platelets in your bloodstream from aggressively clumping together while you sleep, drastically reducing the risk of a silent midnight thrombosis. When you combine these two ancient gifts, you are lowering the viscosity of your blood. You are transforming it from a thick, sluggish stream into a smooth, effortless river. As you sit quietly and hold the warm mug in your hands, let the heat seep into your palms and take a long, slow breath deep into your belly. This deep, rhythmic breathing stimulates your vagus nerve, sending a powerful chemical signal to your brain that the day is finally over. It wraps a warm, heavy blanket around your frazzled nervous system, telling your racing heart that it is safe to slow down, safe to rest, safe to heal. By drinking this soothing infusion and practicing this quiet breath, you are preparing your internal landscape for the golden posture. You are opening the pathways, ensuring that when you finally lay your head down on your left side, your cardiovascular system is completely free of resistance, ready to gently wash the rust from your arteries all through the peaceful night. I know that tonight, when you climb into your bed and turn onto your left side, it might feel just a little bit unfamiliar. Your muscles and joints have memorized their old protective postures for decades, and it is perfectly natural to wake up in the middle of the night and find that you have accidentally rolled onto your back or your right side in the dark. Please do not be frustrated with yourself. You are gently reteaching your physical body how to heal, and true lasting healing is always a quiet, patient journey. Every single hour you spend in this golden posture is a profound victory for your cardiovascular system. As your heart gently pumps freshly oxygenated blood down the natural curve of the aortic arch, your vital organs receive the precise cellular nourishment they desperately need. The inferior vena cava remains completely open and uncompressed, allowing deoxygenated blood to easily and efficiently return from your lower extremities. By maintaining this clear internal pathway, you are actively preventing dangerous venous stasis, significantly reducing the risk of deep vein thrombosis, and shielding the fragile microvessels of your brain from sudden ischemic events. Soon, you will begin to notice a magnificent shift in the way you greet the dawn. Imagine opening your eyes not with that familiar heavy dread in your chest, but with a gentle, refreshing lightness. Do you remember what mornings felt like so many years ago? Perhaps you can recall waking up in a childhood bedroom or visiting a grandparent's house in the quiet countryside, where the only sound was the soft rustling of wind through the trees and the warm, comforting aroma of breakfast drifting gently down the hall. You simply opened your eyes, stretched your legs without a single twinge of sharp pain, and felt entirely safe, deeply rested, and wonderfully alive. That precious feeling is not lost forever to the past. It is waiting patiently for you to reclaim it. By removing the silent, heavy burden from your sacred arteries, your mornings can finally become a time of beautiful, painless rebirth, rather than a slow, aching struggle against fatigue. Here at Sacred Artery, we believe with all our hearts that no one should ever have to navigate the winding, sometimes frightening road of aging completely alone. We are a gathering of kindred spirits walking quietly together toward a future of peaceful longevity. I would be so deeply honored to hear about your own personal journey. If you have struggled with that heavy morning exhaustion, or if you plan to try the left side sanctuary and our warm herbal infusion tonight, please take a moment to leave a quiet note in the comments below. Share a cherished memory of a peaceful morning or your hope for tonight's rest. Your words might be the exact comfort that another weary soul desperately needs to read today. Until we meet again, please be endlessly gentle with your beautiful, hard-working heart. May your nights be completely safe and deeply restful, and may your internal rivers always flow with vibrant, peaceful life.